All right, we are live. We are live. Hello, hello. Welcome to True Thursday. How is 2023 going for you? I feel a different energy. Do you feel a different energy? It's very exciting. I know we have a lot happening in the Truth Teachers. I'm actually going to do another live, and I'll post about the dates that we're going to do it, but just a live on what we're doing, what we're up to, what we're going to be rolling out this year, because it's very exciting and I want to share it with you. So I'll let you know when we're going to do that. But the energy is very different. The energy is very much based in creation and really the support to realize your creation. Comment below if any of you are feeling the same way. But I know for me, 2023 is very much about creation and being supported in that creation. Many of you know I recently announced that we're expecting a baby girl. And so that's probably part of the creation energy, right? And just being supported in that new chapter of our lives personally and also in the business. So, anyway, lots of good stuff happening. I know that good stuff is happening for you too, and sending all the best for that unfoldment. So, let's dive in. I like to call it my divine expression, but my first expression in my career was in real estate, as many of you know. But for those of you who don't, that was my first expression. And I was known as quite the force for good, a real go-getter. And my clients loved working with me because they knew that when they worked with me, we were going to get to the finish line. One way or another, we were going to get there. They loved working with me because they knew that I was going to take a level of responsibility that others wouldn't. And I really prided myself on that. I really took, a lot of pride in that, place in the market, and also almost the certainty that was provided to clients because they knew I would handle it. But what I found over the course of my real estate career was that there were constantly these situations that would keep happening, whereby something would happen, whether it was with team or with a client, and it would be a challenge, right? And there was enough of these circumstances that I found myself going, okay, I'm the common denominator. What's happening within me that I'm creating these situations, right? How am I a part of the chaos? What I found myself doing was I found myself over delivering and going to achieve the goal or outcome. But I was always the one that would hold it together financially, physically, or energetically so that we could all reach the finish line. There were times where like a deal was about to fall through and I would buy a washer and dryer. I don't know if any realtors are listening right now, but can you all relate? It's like whatever I have to do to keep the deal together. I'm not promoting that as a suggestion, but it was very much like hold it together, whatever it takes, make it happen. Whether it's crediting commissions, working tirelessly to make sure we reach the finish line. And frankly, if the numbers worked, I probably would have bought a car to keep the deal together, right, for the clients. But looking back, I had a belief that everything relied on me. I had a belief that I was solely responsible. I even had a mantra that said, if I take care of everyone else, I know I'll always be taken care of. This doesn't serve me. It served me for a while, right? But at some point, it was more chaos than good. It really was a limiting belief, limiting story that I had to do everything for everyone else. My story is not unique. Like many of you, I felt like I was the only one. I felt like I had to pull it off. And like many of you, live by the quote, if it's to be, it's up to me. But what I realized was this was actually the mask that I was wearing and hiding behind because I didn't feel valued or seen. And so I would constantly go out into the world, whether it was on behalf of my clients or team, and work tirelessly, leave no stone unturned, and do everything in my power, thinking that their validation of how valuable I was, how indispensable I was, would finally make me feel valued and seen. You may not be in real estate, but I'm sure you can relate to what I'm saying of feeling alone and like you have to do it all. And at the time, I didn't realize or see how that related to the block or the mask to money and wealth consciousness. But today, it's exactly what I want to talk to you about, because when you can see the ways in which you are wearing a mask, much like I was, we're no different, you and me, right? We have been conditioned and been brought up and raised in a certain way to think that we have to show up more responsible, take care of others, be the hero to make everything together, to come together. And today, my goal is to free you so that you can start creating your life more consciously and specifically step into a relationship with wealth consciousness, with improving your relationship with money. And more importantly than money or wealth consciousness is to actually feel free and to actually feel like you can be fully self-expressed. Because for a large part of my life and my real estate career and my, career, I didn't feel like I could be fully self-expressed. I feel like I had to make things happen. And by the way, these are good qualities, right? Making things happen, always finding a way. That's being resourceful. But at what expense is what we're talking about today. And that's really the money mask that is up for all of us to take off. It was so freeing for me to take off, and I want to share it with you so that you too can be empowered to take it off. But the money mask to highlight is one of manufactured confidence. It's one of showing up in the world like everything is okay, and behind the scenes, you're broken, burned out, and dissatisfied. And that's what I want to shine a light on today, because when we do shine a light on that, you no longer have to have manufactured confidence. You can actually start feeling connected to yourself, which means deeply connected to your results and creating wealth consciousness, creating money consciously, creating opportunity consciously, creating resources consciously. So let's talk about this manufactured money mask of confidence. Really, what this boils down to is a lack of value that you see in yourself. That's what it boiled down to for me. What that breaks down to is I didn't truly trust myself. So I would run about the world and move about the world in a way that I was seeking that validation externally, right? Looking for examples in the world to build confidence instead of that being an inner game. How that relates to money is when you don't trust yourself and you don't value yourself, you believe that money or success is going to allow you to get there. But I'm here to tell you today that if we can switch the paradigm and exchange the money mask of manufactured confidence for true confidence and personal value, when you begin to trust yourself, the game completely changes. You're more intentional, more specific, and you can create more consciously, right? That's the name of the game. So when you don't trust yourself, how this shows up is that you don't fully trust others. So you move through the world in a way that is one of, it's all on me, it's all on my shoulders, I'm all alone. And you create this narrative where even if you had an army of people to help you, They can't fully help you because you're not letting them in, because you don't trust yourself and you don't trust others. When you don't trust others, you cannot experience the support that is available to you through the universe, through your resources, and by your actions. I know for me, when I removed this mask, as I'm calling it, everything in my life really changed. I felt more free, as I mentioned. I felt like I could be fully self-expressed. And what's so fascinating is that it boils down to trust. It boils down to a deep resolve with oneself, a deep intimacy with ourselves, that no matter what, you know you're going to make it happen. Like I said earlier, that's an important quality of being resourceful, but that you're not moving through the world to get validation any longer. It's about you're moving through the world in your power, and your power and presence heals, changes, and impacts your clients, your community, and the impact that you want to have. What can happen is when we don't trust ourselves and we don't trust others, is we can rob others of their experience to grow and prosper because we are reserved. And so we're holding themselves back. And so anything that we're doing with ourselves, we're doing to others unconsciously. And so taking off this mask today is really about being more conscious of how our actions are not only affecting ourselves and our relationship today, it's with wealth consciousness, but with others. And when we can bring attention to this, things can really change. But as a leader, I know that you don't want to rob your people, your team, your colleagues of their experience to grow and prosper. That's like the last thing we want to do as leaders, right? But this mask is blocking you. You can't see the forest through the trees when you perpetuate the story that you're responsible, it's all on you, and you wear this mask of manufactured confidence, acting like you have it all together, but behind the scenes, you're falling apart. And so money has been a way that we've established our worth. Money has been a way that we've established our power. And that paradigm is up for an upgrade. And it's our responsibility to do that. If you can see that you're already worthy, valuable, and start to recognize that in you, the dynamic starts to shift. And that's what I want to get across today, right? Is how can we take down the mask? How can we take down the facade that we have everything together and be fully self-expressed? Let people in to support us so that we can be the change and make the waves that we're supposed to make, because we can't do it alone if we're in suffering about our manufactured confidence. If we're constantly questioning ourselves, how that shows up is our businesses are limited because we're limiting ourselves. Our success is limited because we are holding ourselves back. We're hiding behind this mask that everything is okay. And by the way, I'm not suggesting that, you go and express things that aren't in alignment with you. What I'm suggesting is this conversation is between you and you. If you choose to have that publicly, that's your prerogative, right? But the goal here is for you to see that this mask has been blocking you. I know it was blocking me from being all that I am supposed to be by taking more responsibility than what was mine to take. There is a false sense of control when we take more responsibility than is ours. And that's what was my prerogative, right? In the past, it's like, if I can control this, I know that I can deliver on my word and I can deliver on what I'm here to do. But if I involve other people, or if I have to trust or be vulnerable, I'm exposed, and that's questionable. But if we can start to see that we are our own certainty, we are our own safety, and take responsibility for ourselves, that's when the game can change. We allow others to step up, mess up, and grow and go on their path, and we can really build something worthwhile. So let's dive into the aspects of this money mask so you can really know the different aspects and put it down fully. So when you are the one that's holding everyone and everything together, what you do is you imprison yourself into the level where you are. You can't expand beyond where you are. When you're holding everything together, it may feel like everything is under control, but really you're holding yourself back, the people around you back, and the situation back. And so instead of allowing that to happen, making a new choice of what you think is real. And I'm going to give you an acronym in just a moment on this. But leaving behind the imprisonment of taking responsibility for everyone and everything and overdoing everything, you can start to release the shackles so that you can be free to create more consciously. Number 2, become aware of where you've played so far in these roles. If you can't relate to any of this, great. Take the acronym I'm about to give you and be more intentional on what you create. But if you can see that you have taken too much responsibility and you have created a manufactured mask of confidence, that awareness and willingness to see that alone is going to give you an aha moment to start creating more consciously. So let's talk about this acronym. It's just a fun acronym. So I use the word cash, and we're just going to run through this so you can take the money mask down and really start to create more intentionally. So number 1, C. Choose what you make choose what you make real. Your will directs your attention. So what you're attending to is what you're creating, right? Your attention is the fuel to realize your desire. So if you choose to tell the story that it's all up to you, that your confidence is built on your external results, you are going to keep experiencing that. But if you choose to make the new story real, which is I'm supported by my team, I have an amazing, talented team surrounding me to fulfill the vision that I'm here to fulfill, you're choosing what you make real. When you tell the story that everything is up to you, that can show up as lack in money or resources because you are telling a story of limitation, therefore you are realizing a story of limitation. The A in cash, attention changes your vibration. We're going to talk more about my favorite universal law next week. My apologies to Abby. I revealed it too soon, but attention changes your vibration. When you are attentive to the reality that you want to cultivate, you can put yourself there in advance, and that changes your way of being, thus putting you in a different vibration to attract what you desire. The S in cash, specificity. The way that you can really tap into your power is to be super specific with your goals. The S also represents how supported you can be when you're specific, and really shifting our energy when we're specific and realize we're supported. Because when we choose to be supported, what we do is we say we're trusting, we're allowing, we're foregoing the story that it's all up to me and manufacturing that facade that I have it all together. And H in cash is happiness. Choose happy now. Maintain a heightened state. When you do that, your results follow. So today, take down the money mask of anything that's manufactured, but specifically any confidence that you believe you have to create because you're lacking. Because if you feel like you're lacking, you are blocking true wealth consciousness from reaching you. You don't have to do it all. It's not all on your shoulders. You're not alone. That story can die today. And you can start to build a more empowering story that supports what you want, who you want to be, and the life that you want to live. So let's this week be more conscious of the stories that we're creating, of what we're talking about, and what we feel like we have to manufacture to be successful in the world, because those days are gone. You are whole and complete just as you are. And when you return home to yourself, when you return home to this truth that you're whole, that you have everything that you need, you are going to be able to access information, resources within yourself, within your own inspiration, to create more consciously. So here's to this next week. Watch this mask and drop it. Drop it when it comes up, because like anything, when we have a mask, we can put it down today, but it does sometimes take a little time and a few times catching the mask when it tries to reapply itself for us to really be free of it. So catch yourself when you're taking too much responsibility, when you are, overcompensating for anything, and see how your relationship with wealth and money also shifts when you start taking down this mask of manufactured confidence.